So here we have our yogurt. It cultured at the dehydrator for 24 hours, and that uses up pretty much all of the lactose. You can see I'm tilting it and it is nice and thick. And then we're gonna go ahead and I like to I put this whole pot in the fridge and the kids just serve themselves out of it, which is an easy, very inexpensive way to serve yogurt to your kids. Or if I'm more on top of things and I wanna make sure that our mornings are running smoothly and my kids are getting all of the supplements that they use, I make little supplement cups with the yogurts. And so if you have supplements that your kids take every day, and I'll show you what mine take, first you want to taste them and make sure they're not bitter, because if they're bitter, the kids aren't going to like them. And if you're not sure before you waste like this many supplements, just go ahead and mix one capsule of whatever you want to put in it into a little half cup of yogurt and see if your kids will eat it. And if they won't, then obviously you know you don't want to do this with this particular supplement. So right now I'm using these probiotics from Custom Probiotics, and I'll leave a link down below the video for you. And my kids just do a lot better. They don't get sick as often. Their mood is more stable. Their digestion is a lot better when they have these high-powered probiotics every day. So it comes with a little scoop. This is an adult scoop. The kid scoop is in it. And this really doesn't have any taste. So it's just a tiny little scoop. This bottle, it's expensive, but the probiotic is very powerful and it's been tested. It is still a live, active probiotic. So I'm just gonna put one little tiny scoop in each of these. And I like to do the supplements before I put the yogurt in because it's easier to see. And you can see I'm just using pretty much every small container I have in my kitchen that's not already holding leftovers or something in the fridge. I try to choose glass most of the time, but plastic, if that's what we have, that's what we use. And then also I use L-carnosine, and this is one of the first supplements I tried for my daughter when she had an autism diagnosis. This does have a double-blind, placebo-controlled study that shows that L-carnosine is very helpful in children with autism for promoting speech and promoting mood regulation. And she doesn't have an autism diagnosis anymore, and my other two children don't have an autism diagnosis, but we just saw such a benefit with the amino acid L-carnosine that, again, I'll leave a link to this down below the video, that I do include this in their diets, and I see that their sleep quality is improved for all three of them, and I feel like her mood is also more regulated, even though she's not on the spectrum anymore. So I'm gonna these capsules, and again, you're gonna wanna taste them, make sure that they taste okay to your kids. My kids don't mind them in yogurt. And so I'm gonna put one capsule in each and just open it up and dump it in. And then these little guys down here, this is for my little guy, my toddler, so I'll just put half a capsule in those for him. He doesn't need quite as much as my older kids. So we're gonna get these, and then my kids like raisins down in the bottom, and if I have tart cherry juice concentrate, I put that in as well. So raisins are what we use to sweeten the yogurt. If you want to add a little bit of honey down in the bottom as well, that's good. Frozen berries, like especially if you made berry jam, like chia berry jam or berry syrup, fresh or frozen berries are delicious in this also. And then I'm going to show you, after I'm done with the L-carnosine, I'll show you our Diatomaceous earth, and that's a little bit more, I guess, controversial of the supplements that we take. It is for parasites, pathogenic bacteria. It just seems to keep my kids' digestion running smoothly, and if they do get junk food, usually at other people's houses, occasionally at our house, I feel like when they take the Diatomaceous earth, it keeps everything moving and it doesn't put them on that roller coaster as much. Our Diatomaceous earth, in case there's any bugs, stuff in your gut, it looks like dirt. I just use, and if you use this, if you're trying this with your kids, use a very small amount. I wouldn't put this in a supplement right away. You want to start with probably just like 1/10 or 1/8 of a tablespoon or a teaspoon, and then work your way up. Just like a tiny little sprinkle, maybe every other day or every 3 days, because it can be really constipating and that can be painful for the kids. And then this is also something that if you're serving this stuff, this yogurt to other people, you can't. If they're not used to the high-powered the amino acids are fine, but the high-powered probiotics, and I'm using a sprinkle. It's about maybe not even 1/8 of a teaspoon in here. Just a little bit keeps them healthy, regular. But anyways, you do not want to give these kind of supplements to people that aren't used to it. It'll send them into heavy detox because a lot of our culture is not used to any probiotics at all. And so they're going to get sick from any amount. And the same with the diatomaceous earth. Just kind of whatever you use. If you just want to do this and they're getting enough probiotics from the yogurt, which of course does have those healthy fats and probiotics. Oh, and also if you're concerned that your kids aren't getting enough gelatin or they're not getting enough protein in their diet, collagen, it's like gelatin, but it doesn't clump and it doesn't make it into like the jelly consistency. It'll dissolve right into this yogurt. So if you are concerned that your kids don't get enough of amino acids or they don't get enough protein, then adding a scoop of this to each of the yogurt cups is also a good option. My kids do pretty well with protein, I feel like, so I'm not adding that to theirs. And then we just put some raisins in the bottom. Sometimes I'll add applesauce in the bottom as well if we've made some applesauce. And these raisins will kind of absorb some of the liquid from the yogurt, which will thicken the yogurt and also make the raisins plump up a little bit and able to be stirred in. My kids really enjoy being able to get this breakfast out of the fridge on their own. It promotes some independence. They know that they can have one of these because it does have all those supplements in it. I don't want them to eat a bunch at a time. And this will last, this homemade yogurt, it'll get a little bit more tart as time goes on. I would probably use it within 3 weeks. So here's that. There's still a little bit of yogurt in here and we'll just put that in a quart jar. And then that yogurt doesn't have the supplements in it, which is good for when we have friends visit and they like yogurt. So we'll just put the lids on and then rinse them real quick to get all the drips off. I just found these white lids. I'd been able to find them for wide mouth for a long time, but I just found these in regular mouth and they're handy for the mason jars. We use mason jars a lot to store, so. And then of course transfer these to the fridge. A lot of people will ask that since I'm using mason jars, are they shelf stable? They are not shelf stable. We need to put them in the fridge. We're just using these as a nice way to store.